Hey everybody, welcome to Heavyweight Scooters. My name is Brian and I created this channel to share a little bit with you about my experience getting into electric scootering as a heavier person. Last year I really took up this hobby and it took a little while before I found the scooter that worked for me. I probably went through 6 different scooters and broke many of them along the way, which was very frustrating, took a lot of my time and my money. So nobody wants that, so I'm hoping to share what I learned along the way, so if you're a heavier person, you can find a great scooter for you. So just to get it out of the way up front, I weigh about a stately 260 pounds. I wanted to get into this hobby for fun and for freedom. I'm not using the scooter as a commuter. I don't need it to go very fast. I just want to find something that's reliable and works for me. A lot of the reviews online are from lighter people, and what you should know is on the same scooter, the experience that a lighter person has is just not going to be the same as a heavier one. Weight matters a lot with these scooters. To move more weight just requires more power, more force, and your ride isn't going to be the same. In order for you to have the same ride as a lighter person, you need a better scooter. You just do. It's the facts about weight. So I would take some of those reviews online with a grain of salt, or at least know that as a heavier person, things aren't going to perform as well as you're seeing in the online reviews. I also wanted to talk about the weight rating on the scooters. The maximum load is how much weight you're supposed to put on the scooters, and a lot of the entry-level scooters have a maximum load around 225 pounds. And although I exceed that load, it's easy to kind of think this scooter could work for you, because that's where I started, and those scooters moved me around. They got me around my neighborhood and it felt good. So for the most part, I thought I could get away with these entry-level scooters. But there's no free lunch. That doesn't work. Besides being a safety risk of just being too heavy for the frame and the hardware, I broke 2 of these entry-level scooters in a way that I didn't expect, and that was coming down a hill and braking. And what I believe happened is the regenerative braking system, which is usually great for you because it gives you a little bit more battery life and it also stops you quicker. In my case, being heavier than the system was rated for, it produced too much energy, which with a full battery just went and fried the controller. So this happened to me twice. Ruined 2 perfectly great scooters and had to walk them home and learn the hard way that as a big person, you're not going to be able to ride an entry-level scooter. If the weight rating isn't for you, just forget it. You're gonna have to spend some more money. The second thing that I did was get a mid-level scooter, which was rated for my weight. I was very excited and I thought, hey, I'm gonna spend a little bit more money and find the right scooter for me. Well, you need to consider where you're taking the scooter and what the terrain is like. And I live in a hilly neighborhood, and as any heavy rider knows, when you start to go up the hills, most of the scooters are really going to slow down, and it requires a lot more power. And you need to listen to your motors and look at your system. And if you're slowing down, even if you can get up the hills, if you're going in the single digits, your motor isn't equipped for that. I had a 500 watt motor. I was in the right weight class for the scooter, but I burned out my motor trying to go up too big of a hill. So you really just can't skimp on it. There's no way around it. A lot of this is dependent on you and your weight and where you're going. But for me, the big problem was I couldn't rely on my scooters, which really took a lot away from the experience. I wanted to be out there and just be free and have fun. But knowing that I was on a piece of hardware that could break down really took a lot away from that experience. So ultimately, for me, I thought I needed to get a scooter with the power to take me up a hill. That ended up being a dual motor scooter, which for hill climbing, I think is an absolute necessity if you're big. Don't skimp out, get the dual motor system, and get motors that are rated for heavier people. So, for me, this is a 2,000 watt motor system. It is way too much power than I usually need, and I'm usually tuning my ride down. I don't need to be going as fast as possible or jerking off the line, but if I see a hill, I can climb it. And that's what I wanted to do, and that's with a system like this what I was able to achieve. So that's my final thought, is just get the scooter that works for you. You won't regret it in the end. It's a great hobby to get into, and that's just one man's experience. But thank you for listening. If you have any other questions for me about how it goes riding these scooters as a bigger person, please feel free to comment, and I may share more about my rides and thoughts later. But for now, thank you for joining us on Heavyweight Scooters, where we can celebrate all the heavyweights. Have a great one.